We got us team 1 together with Ari here on that team. We got Wolf going to be charging out first. On the back of the team, we got ourselves Choke, Sojiro, as well as Chirp. On team 2, we got ourselves Jesus. Looks like Jesus is going to be first up, potentially, as a Frost DK. On his team, we got ourselves Bach the Hunter, Marksman, Leatherface the Demon Hunter, Orlaine, as well as Shinigami as the Shadow Priest, and Jesus starting off with the Grippy Hand versus Wolf, going for the PvP talent where Immortals Winter turns into a stun once it hits the enemy like 4 or 5 times. It stacks up to be a stun. Does go for Strangulate too with a stun right after. So double stun for Jesus. Might be able to make some work of this. IBM gonna use versus the pet stun. That's gonna be Shackles. Trying to see if he can break the Shackles using whatever mobility that has. Going for the Chain of Ice on the pets. Trying to control the pets as best as possible. Is gonna be able to interrupt the first aid for Wolf. And it's gonna be able to chill with the pets for a moment. At least go for some death strikes in order to be able to catch up on some healing. Jesus going off without a IBF anymore. AMS was used really early versus Wolf, so he's actually down some cooldown. Silence onto Wolf for a second. He's going to try to see if he can grip him down on top of him, but it's going to be a freezing trap to separate the two. Remorseless Winter Stun does go off. It actually doesn't let Wolf get away too far. Chain of Ice onto the Hunter, throwing down the Chakram, and Jesus is going to go for an AMS. I believe that AMS doesn't help with the Death Chakra because that should be all shadow damage with a full Flesh Cut up for Jesus. Wolf is going to get a Flesh Cut up his own. And Jesus does have Pillar of Frost back up. Maybe can use the Pillar of Frost in order to get a lot of damage in versus Wolf. Stun onto the Death Knight. Try to see if he might be able to survive this burst. Stun onto Wolf right after with more Obliterates flying in. Trying to make whatever damage burst he can happen. And Wolf actually throwing down Freezing Trap. Jesus avoiding it. Wolf trying to see if he can kite the Death Knight back into the trap. Can he avoid it? Gonna be a stun onto Wolf. Jesus so far has been able to avoid this thing pretty well, living up to his name quite well. But that's going to be Cobra shots. Turn around. Jesus actually finds it super low. Does he go for the Dark Pact? He does have to go for the Death Pact, I think. Dark Pact, I think, is a Warlock. But I think it's over. Jesus getting sniped out by Wolf. And that's going to be a bit of a reset for the Hunter as Shinigami. Kind of waddling out of what the hell? Oh my god. Sure, just doesn't give any respect for Alliance boys at all. Just zero respect for the Alliance team whatsoever. Shinigami getting attacked by the pets pretty early on. Trying to stay mounted so he might be able to close the gap with Wolf. I think he knows that there's a trap on top of there, around the corner. Gonna be Wolf with a trinket with a faint death. Alright, as he sees the big PI coming up for Shinigami. And the Shadow Priest is going to be able to get some dots on the pets. And I believe with the dots, maybe he can get some resource off those things. I guess if he gets Ghosties flying towards the pets, he could get a little bit of sanity for it. Trying to mount up with a PI for a few seconds. Fear onto the pets. It looks like Wolf is going to be feared. One of the pets got feared. I don't really know if that's normal. Both of them are undead. I don't really know if they can be feared. Shinigami kind of dropping it low. Wolf just got so much pressure on him. Shinigami could be going in for a big damage defensive here. Potentially a Disperse. Did use Greater Fate earlier. Is going to be able to get the dots on the pets as well. Trying to catch up with the Flesh Scout. Freezing Trap is going to meet him. But Shinigami is actually kind of sort of okay-ish on health. I think he used a Battle Master Trinket there to give himself a little bit extra health to bolster his defenses. Big Siphon joins the fight, but Wolf feint does it, and then the pet is completely confused where Shinigami is. Wolf avoiding that Shadow Crash completely. Interrupt the Shinigami in Shadow, and that's going to be a quick Shadow Meld by the Shadow Priest. Lots of shadow spells in there. Mind Games to follow versus Wolf is going to go for Fade. Then Shinigami might have to go for Disperse here. Greater Fate is up. Unless Wolf can get the interrupt. Doesn't have it. Freeze the trap on the Shinigami. Keeping it low. Wolf does not really have the big burst, but he does have sustained damage that just amps up and ramps up even more and more and more. Mind Games actually stunned, not interrupted. Shinigami having to go for Disperse as soon as the stun connects. And is at least in melee in order to get that fear onto Wolf as well as all the pets. And is able to catch up on a little bit of healing. Mind Games, Wolf goes in for a feint death really early. Stun onto the Hunter. Mind Games is going to hit him with a Void Torrent. He's still getting hit with a Void Torrent through Turtle Shell. Did use Pet Sack. And if Shinigami can maybe get some dots on the pets as well as the damage onto Wolf, then he's going to be alright. Jesus got baptized? Oh no. Well, if anything, I think Jesus... Isn't it like the last supper? I think it's more or less he got stabbed in the back by Wolf and the boys, actually. I don't really know. I mean, like if he got baptized, maybe it would have been like... What class would it have been? I think like a Restoration Shaman or a Shaman No, I guess it would be by a Restoration Shaman, says there's a lot of war spells for them. Greater Fate for Shinigami, try to catch up in heals. And Wolf just got so much pressure. Whenever he can do anything to Shinigami, he might as well just throw him in the freezing trap. Trinkets, Shinigami popping a trinket of his own, trying to go for a mind game zone to Wolf. That's going to be Wolf with a feint death, maybe a little early. Shinigami, I don't think ever completed the mind games. Trying to maintain himself as best as he can, dot-wise, health-wise. Void Eruption to follow with a Void Showdown after. Does Wolf have anything for it? Looks like Wolf has himself plenty of self-survivability and healing. Shinigami is at least able to get some damage into Wolf. As an interrupt, if he needs to feint death by Wolf, Shinigami is going to want to have to go for some kind of damage where he needs to cast. He needs to get the juke out, but I don't know if it'll be enough. It looks like Wolf just runs him down with the pets. That is something to worry about. Every time you're playing against a Beastmaster Hunter, the pets are just going to be so much problem, but Wolf might just be dropping down versus Bach. Feint death for the explosion shot. He's still in the kill shot range. One more arcane shot. Explosion shot still going through either way. I thought you could actually feint death and explosion shot. And Bach was able to take down the Beastmastery Hunter Menace. Chirp getting hit with an interrupt as Bach sending the pet out. Has himself True Shot Aura. Convoke the Spirits is up. Bach is going to go for a Turtle Shell in order to deal with the damage. That's going to be Chirp trinketing out of. What did he trinket even? Was that a scatter shot? Binding shot onto Chirp. He's going to be able to power shift out of it. Pick it up. One of the Starbursts wants to give Bach a hug with it, as well as a knockup bash into a big old knockup, doing quite a lot of damage during Incarnation. Bach under lots of pressure right now. Does he have anything else to keep himself alive? Feint death for a moment. Freeze the trap into Chirp as he goes in for Shackle. And Bach continuing the pressure with the aim shots, arcade shots around the corner. Wants to just put as much pressure as he can into the boomy. Cyclone doesn't connect. It does. The pet trying to get some bites and nibbles at Chirp. He's going to be able to get himself some regrowths. Can Bach turn this around? Does he have the Kyrian Burst? He might be able to, actually. If he has a line of sight with that Kyrian Burst, he might be okay. You just need to catch him. Does he get him, though? Looks like Chirp does not want to walk back into the Resonant Arrow. He's just going to pop in a bear from. Try to see if he can survive this. Aim shots are up by Bach. Does he have the kill shots to follow? Arcade shots getting him super close, super low. Bach is just going to charge in. He got him on the ropes. Our aim shot into an arcade kill shot, potentially. Roar? What? There's no way. Oh, the pet gets him, though. Oh, but Sajiro is just looking at you like, oh my god, this is so free. So free. Stone into Bach as he got full cooldowns. I don't think this boy's even going to be able to be given a chance. Bach barely alive. The Blaze Storm just got you. There's no way. Oh my, the executes are done. No, I was going to say, there's no way, dude. There's no way he was going to make it out of there. That was so close. That actually could have been so good. If only Sajiro did not trinket. Oh my god. Something knocked Bach out of camo there at the end. Something knocked him out of camo. I don't know what it is. So if nothing knocked him out of camo, I think he would have been A-okay, actually. Orlaine is going to be up next. The Shadow Priest was Sajiro. Is looking just to run over yet another class. Going to be big roar. Horror effects out. Horror bolts up for Orlaine. Getting hit with a Storm Bolt. Sajiro is going to drop down a big old banner. War Breaker for a ton of damage. It could be in the bad executed range. Orlaine better have a defensive ready. Going to be Greater Fate. Breaks his own Greater Fate really early. Going to be a parry out for Sajiro. Needs to get Orlaine low enough and it's going to be dispersed. Sajiro just needs to live this long enough and maybe run over Orlaine. But the Void Bolt, the Void Elf racial does put him in an interesting position. At least away from Sajiro. They had to burn a leap. But with a couple executes, that's all he needs. Got himself still banner rolling, damage buffs all up and running. And Leatherface is going to be up next versus the warrior who just bailing out of the double leap, rally cry, flesh scout. So Leatherface is just going to have to wait this out. He's just going to, you know, like, I might as well get some resources. I might as well wait this out, get some resources, and I'll be okay. Shattering Throw to see if Sajiro could buzz through the Flesh Scout. Actually, maybe should have went for that Shattering Throw after the War Breaker to make it deal the most amount of damage. I don't think the damage will actually hit into Leatherface's health bar too, which actually could be pretty nutty. Sajiro Storm bolting him down. Leatherface not shrinking out of this. He's just letting the Necrolord shielding happen. Letting the slime shield happen. Darkness coming down as it drops low. As Sajiro just runs in with an execute. He just needs one lucky execute to proc. IB was up for Leatherface. Get himself a little bit of leech. Sajiro's kind of low as it is damage allowing Leatherface to heal a little. Sajiro backing up out of there completely. Does not have a way to heal for the time being. Unless second win. Second win. Catching him back up completely. And Rafael Vega, my man. Yo, can we get a hashtag Rafael Vega, boys? Thank you so much, my guy. Hashtag Raphael Boys. Showing appreciation. Wonderful donation. My man. Thank you so much, my dude. Stun Sajuro with a Storm Bolt by the Warrior. Parry up in case the Demon Hunter got 86 up his sleeve. Tried to go for an imprison. Gonna be a Zerker Rage out of Sajuro to break him out of that prison. And Leatherface, I don't think he has much left. He did have to go into a big old I-beam, activate a demon form for a second. Flash got full up, so actually, I think he might have been able to catch back up. And that's going to be a demon spawning in. I think the Demon Hunter going to be fine. So Zero looking to cleave him down as best as possible. That is Demon Hunter getting kind of low in the execute range. Leatherface is going to snipe out the demon in order to give himself quite a bit of a heal. Going to be a strong but Sajura. Still got plenty of damage. Still continue to truck as much as possible. Big old I-beam by Leatherface, running right through him. With Arhi going to be up next. And when Leatherface doesn't even give an opportunity, he has full metamorphosis. He might as well continue the pressure. Full ascendance up for Arhi. Big chain harvest. Does Leatherface live this stun short onto Arhi? Does he have any more CC to follow? Is going to be in prison. I-beam right after. He has himself a little bit more metamorphosis leech. But Arhi does hit him down with wind strikes during ascendance. That's essentially his own metamorphosis. That was rough, dude. That was really rough, dude. I was actually hoping the Bach with a freezing trap would somehow just stay in camo the whole time. If he was able to get away, I think he might have had a chance, dude. I think he might have stood a chance. Because then you just have to play around the enemy. But otherwise, it would have been good.